Well, that's one way to open the season. South Carolina on opening night suffers a 74-71 loss to North Florida here on Monday at Colonial Life Arena, and let's just cut right to the chase. This was a really, really bad loss for the Gamecocks. It is not. I'll be the voice of reason here for anyone out there thinking the season's over. I got news for you. The season is far from over. There's still 29 games to go in the regular season. Yes, it is a really ugly loss. In Ken Palm, North Florida is ranked, I think, 251. And just for reference, this is probably going to go down as a quad 4 loss, which is, if you're unfamiliar, wins, losses are ranked on a scale of quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4. So obviously when you play higher ranked teams, the wins are going to be a lot more important. The losses won't be as bad. When you play teams like this, you're typically supposed to win. Obviously, South Carolina paid North Florida for this game. And when you lose to a team that, granted, went about 500 last year, and I know a lot of people on Twitter and the Insiders Forum are saying this is a bad team that South Carolina was playing, you lost to them, and this is going to go down as a loss that when we're approaching Selection Sunday and we're talking about, okay, will South Carolina make March Madness? Or maybe they'll already be a lock for it, but let's say it's a close call. You look back at a game like this and you're like, all right, well, South Carolina's got probably one of the more ugly losses on their schedule. And look, North Florida, I'll give them a lot of credit. They hit some shots tonight, and we'll start diving into the game here in a second, but let's not act like this is some bad team. I mean, they led the country in most three-pointers taken last season, and that was kind of their brand tonight. They went 10 of 29 from three-point range, and those threes mattered. They were tough shots. I thought South Carolina didn't have the greatest on-ball defense, especially on the perimeter. I felt like there were times where, look, obviously they scout this team. They do a whole report, watch film on them. They know what is coming. But I just felt like there were a lot of second-chance opportunities for North Florida. I mean, the rebounding wasn't great for South Carolina. They got out-rebounded in this game, and it allowed North Florida to have extra opportunities. I mean, they won the offensive rebound battle 15-9, and those 6 rebounds made a big difference as North Florida was able to take a lot more shots in this game and thus hit them. And you got to give them credit. I mean, shooters are going to shoot, and the ball does not lie. So it just was not South Carolina's night. But again, it's not like it was just North Florida. Obviously North Florida played really well in this game. I thought they probably wanted this game more. It just felt like that. Even talking to Lamont Paris after the game, he even said that felt like there was some, paraphrasing here, felt like there was some lack of energy. And it just seemed like North Florida wanted this game a lot more. And honestly, it did feel like the Gamecocks did not have the greatest energy in the world, and that's something that's a little bit concerning. But you know what else is concerning? The free throw shooting. Now, I remember I was talking about last week during the exhibition game, and saying, look, it's just an exhibition game. Don't worry about it. It's let's not overreact to anything. But the free throw shooting was bad that game. It was abysmal again tonight. I mean, you went 14 of 25 at the line, and when we're talking about a game where South Carolina loses by 3 points. I mean, look, if they make 4 free throws, the score is a lot different. And it's easy to pin it on that. And look, free throw shooting is not easy by any means. It takes a lot of work. And I know people are going to be out there saying, oh, I can do that. Why can't this team do it and all that? But, I mean, look, try going the line behind me here and try shooting. It's not exactly everything it's cracked up to be. And look, South Carolina's got a lot to figure out. But I think that's probably one of the things that, when you're looking back on this game, some of the free throws they missed early in this game, Nick Pringle not making a ton of free throws. He went 3 of 8 at the line tonight. Colin Boyles went 3 of 6 at the line. Cam Scott went 1 of 3 at the line. You get all those guys make at least 1 or 2 more free throws, we're talking about a potentially different game here. But even at that, even when South Carolina led, which they ended up leading for most of the way, it just felt too good to be true. It just felt like as the lead kind of dwindled down, it got down to 3, then it got down to 1. In the second half, it's like at some point North Florida is going to make a shot here because they were struggling just as much as South Carolina, but they were kind of getting better as the game wore on, especially in those later minutes. And of course, North Florida hits a pair of back-to-back threes, and they end up taking the lead for the rest of the way in the final few minutes. And it's a game that, look, there's a lot more to break down from it. Obviously, these are just initial thoughts, but I gotta say, I'm gonna be quite honest. Like, the season's obviously not over. It's hard to overreact just to one game and call the season, done and in the can. But this is a game that I think South Carolina's gonna be looking back on. They're gonna be really thinking like, how did we let this one slip away from us? How did we not win this game? And we'll see what happens. But again, the thing for this team is, I'll kind of wrap it up on this point. You have a lot of tougher games left to go. You play Indiana, you play Xavier, you potentially play Michigan or Virginia Tech in the Fort Myers tip-off. You also play Clemson. So non-conference play is not going to be easy. And so if you lose some of these games that you have against quality opponents, it is going to hurt you, especially considering the fact that you lost this game to North Florida. And who's to say you can't lose another game here in non-conference play to a team that you're supposed to beat? Like, SC State's coming in here on Friday, playing here at 7 p.m. on SEC Network Place. If you lose that game too, it's like anyone could beat you on any given night. That is college basketball. And it's honestly, for those overreacting to this game, it is just one game, but it's also like, this is college basketball. This is where upsets happen probably more than any other sport. And I'm not excusing the fact that South Carolina lost this game, but that is just the truth of it. Games like this are going to happen. All teams kind of go through it. And South Carolina at this point, they just got to, have short-term memory, move on from it, and go from there. And that starts Friday with a few days to go here when you play SC State at 7 p.m. here at Colonial Life Arena. So that's going to do it for now. Got a lot more to say about this game and stuff as my thoughts kind of get more fleshed out after watching back through some of the highlights and stuff. I'll be going live tomorrow for GC Live at the Buzzer to talk about this game. We'll also be talking about the South Carolina women's basketball game where, from what I've heard, I haven't gotten a chance to watch or really check, but they beat Michigan tonight out in Las Vegas. So that's a good win for them, but we'll be talking a lot about this men's game and kind of what went wrong on GC Live at the Buzzer some point tomorrow. I'll have a time and all that link to share with you guys whenever I figure that out. And then I'll be on 107.5 of the game at 9 a.m. tomorrow with Tyler Head to talk about this game and what went wrong for South Carolina, because there's a lot that went into this game that just did not go right. And then there'll be stories, other content to come on GamecockCentral.com. So be sure to stay locked in to GC for all of that. That's going to do it for now. I'm Jack Veltri from Gamecock Central. Have a good night, guys.